Nyaga Jingaruja, Nyaga Dinjaruja, Purabari Garuja, Purabari Garuja, Nyaga Jingaruja, Nyaga Jingaruja, Purabari Garuja, Purabari Garuja.
As we work together, we acknowledge country and our ancestors. We send our respect to Gumbaynggirr country, who holds and guides us, and to the custodians of Gumbaynggirr country from the past, the present, and the future, and all of whom are with us now. We also acknowledge all the countries and the First Nations of the countries where you are today. This always was and always will be Aboriginal land. We honour the lands, waters and skies, and all the life, the animals and people, rocks and plants, stories and winds, everything that lives there, where we all live and learn. We acknowledge elders past, present and future of these countries, and as we do so, we respect a line of culture through the ages. Our elders are the ones who carry culture on. Our culture survives. As Aunty Shaa says, we are part of the oldest living culture on the planet. Our elders are keeping our stories alive as they pass the stories on to the children, and they become elders and so on, in turn. Elders are our wisdom holders. That is a responsibility, Gumbaynggirr way. The children have that responsibility to learn and to become a leader in their culture.
The Dunggiirr brothers and the Caring Song of the Whale by Aunty Shaa Smith and Yandaarra.
Today we are sharing with you about our book, The Dunggiirr Brothers and the Caring Song of the Whale, written by Aunty Shaa Smith with Yandaarra and published by Allen and Unwin. This book is recommended for ages 7 to 12, but was written for all ages. This story of the Koala brothers belongs to all times, not just the past. Aunty Shaa is one of the story holders for this story and for Numba and Gumbaynggirr countries. Aunty Shaa says, "I don't do this for me. I do it for country. It's our culture and we need to express it. Country is calling us in to do a ceremony of recreation." In our sharing about this book today, we bring together different voices and yarns from different times and places on Gumbaynggirr country, including the voices of country itself, the wind, water and birdsong.
Yep.
Kinagaya, I'm Uncle Bud, and I'm doing a storybook with my two nieces, Sharon and Nia, and I'm on Gumbaynggirr country, and I'd like to share everything with you as we do our story from about of the land and everywhere we go, and I hope it turns out all right. Thank you.
G'day, welcome to Numba country. We are here where Numba and Gumbaynggirr countries meet on the mid-north coast of New South Wales. I am Aunty Shaa and this is some of my family. When we meet up, we come into each other's stories and listen to country. We come into country's story. Country is family. It is the family of people and animals. It is the family of the land, sea, sand, mountain, and air. It is our love and our dreams. It is our story and memories. It is this story and memory we share with you in this book.
Ngai Gumbaynggirr. Nganyundi Mimi ga Gumbaynggirr, Nganyundi Baba ga Banjalang. So I'm Aunty Shaa Smith. My mother's Gumbaynggirr and my father's Bundjalung. And I've lived all my life here in Gumbaynggirr country, my mother's country.
Yandara is a Gumbaynggirr word for a group going together or shifting camp together. This is also the name for our research or our co-writing and all our work together. Yandara is a recreation story. It's about remembering what was or what is as part of this recreating. This work is about honouring elders and custodians, past, present and future. Guidance from them is so important. It's timeless, relevant forever. Stories don't belong to one time, but for all time. This story that Yandaarra are living now is relevant for then and now and for the future. Ceremony is at the heart of Yandaarra and of Aunty Shaa and my commitment to it as they seek to bring ceremony back to country. This is caring for Gumbaynggirr people and country in this way. For non-Gumbaynggirr co-researchers and co-writers, coming into consciousness together involves supporting Gumbaynggirr-led processes and coming into relationship with country and Gumbaynggirr people. When we look to how to shift camp or shift our practices, relationships and ways of thinking about the land, using Gumbaynggirr dreaming and protocol is key.
In the Dunggiirr brothers and the caring song of the whale, we want to show that relationships to country are very important. At the beginning of the book, we map the dreaming place where the story place is and where we're located when we hold the ceremony. This map's a way of showing country, sharing and showing some special places. Gumbaynggirr people have many special sites, special landscapes of great meaning that are sacred. This is what we've mapped. It's very different from a lot of mainstream maps. The map holds the story. That's why it's so significant. It holds the story that holds the law. And that's how we map places, by their significance. The map is kept alive in the ceremony also. Gumbaynggirr people map places of great significance for their stories, songlines, their ceremonies. We still hold ceremony just by telling the story, by doing the map.
This country is the homeland of the Gumbaynggirr people. It extends from the Clarence River in the north to the Nambaka River in the south, and from the Pacific Ocean in the east to the Great Dividing Range in the west.
Yilami, come with us to the beach. Come into the creation time now. This is the place where the koala bridge came in when the sea was made.
In the book, we wanted to show how the dreaming is always present and ongoing. You will see this in the artwork and the way we live into the story of being saved by the koala brothers. As Aunty Shaa tells us, we live our life in cycles. It is like the elders, past, present, future. It is present now. The dreaming is forever present. There is no distinct past, present, and future. The ancestors and being in the dreaming story are with us always. That is why I say the stories belong to all time. They don't belong to a past time. It is not an event that happened in the past. It is an event that happens always. This is also why we acknowledge country. It is forever feeding us knowledge, opening us up to more, to give us more. It is knowledge that is relevant for today, for always.
So the law is held in the dreaming stories. The principles of the whole practice of living in the law is held in those stories of how to, live and be with the earth and ourselves and each other. So that's like, it's like it's already established. And it's the law of the dreaming is about the interconnectedness of all things and the interdependence of all things, of life. I want to sort of look at those principles and see if I can capture what this new law is coming in. Work with how to live with the intelligence of the earth. Now, we can only it's about this whole practice of this, and it's all practice of the law. We have to be prepared to create, new practices.
Yeah.
Looking at the new environment, humans, the natural environment as it is now, humans as we are now, and the earth as it is now, like through climate change and Yeah, and just the fact that we're documenting what we're doing, and that we're writing it down, and it's a part of this whole research that we're doing, and it brings it more into the world, more into it's bringing the dreaming world into a way of thinking. It's bringing the dreaming into this perceived reality, this Western system, and or the colonizer system, and it can have an effect on the way people think and feel.
I guess for me, Mum's always used the dreaming stories to teach me and to guide me. But now that I'm older, it's understanding that it's not just a story, it's the beings within that story, they exist. They did exist, and they are still alive now, through us. So I guess, looking for me, if I'm able to somehow make a connection to the beings within that story, I find it easier to be reminded of country and its system of intelligence. It's the way of living, it reminds me.
Ginnegay gargle. Aunty Shaa says hello to the ocean. We all greet the ocean. We say hello with our hearts. We put our hands in the sea and splash our face. We play in the sand. We go for a surf.
For us as Yandaarra, country's everywhere. It is everything. Country nourishes us, holds us, communicates with us and teaches us. Country's our history, our family and our future. Country's our relationships, our food, our memories and our emotional connections. It is energies and winds, waters and songs, spirits, dreams and stories. Country is a rich landscape, rich with connections. And it's more because we're part of country. We're created by it and with it. We're continually part of its emergence. We come into being together. While landscape or land is seen in dominant frames as something to be bought or sold, or something that sits in the background, country is active and knowledgeable. It's never background, and its beauty is in its teachings, patterns and relationships, and in the Aboriginal law that it holds and that helps us to live.
The two Goanna sisters, Wirriga, they're called, they made the sea. They pushed their yam sticks into the ground and all the water came out. Some people were out on the land far to the east. They were scared. They would have got stuck out there when the sea came up, but they got saved by the koala brothers, Dunggiirr and their family. We lived this story today. We lived the story of being saved by Dunggiirr and being part of their family. We will do a ceremony to keep it alive.
To learn the dreaming story of the place, to learn about the country you are sitting on, helps you to understand place, to understand what country you are sitting on, the language group. Acknowledging country helps that person know and respect the law and the story of that place.
Yilami, walk with us now to the Miral, to the special place where the Dunggiirr rests. This mountain is the body of one of the koala brothers. We make a ngura, camp, have a fire and cook up some bulungul, mullet. This fish is a gift from country. Country feels good. We feel good too. The fire and the food is us coming home. This is part of the ceremony. We come home. Aunty Shaa and Lara make the archway for us to walk through.
So I'm sitting here in a spot where I've set up a day camp in Yandara country, and it's a place called the Golden Hole. It's a very special place where food is so bountiful. I've come here today to talk to you about a story, and I'm listening to these oak trees that are here, and I'm listening to the wind blowing through the oak trees. I'm listening to how they're meeting, the wind and the oak tree. And something happens when they meet. You know, they're creating a song together. Just have a listen, if you can. And it's taken me into a place of like meditation, and it's bringing to me the story. There's a story that's coming through about two ways of relating to land, and these two ways are in conflict with each other. And this is a big story for this continent. So we're coming into this story of these two ways of relating to land that are in conflict with each other. Coming into that story to sit with each other and to find a way of arriving at peace, a place beyond conflict where we can sit in peace in ourselves and with each other and with country, with the land.
Now we are in the story of the koala, Dunggiirr. We will walk the bridge that the brothers made. Here, this is where it happens, in this place, in this creation time. When the sea came up, the people out to the east were stuck. Dunggiirr used their insides, their gut string, to make a bridge for the people. The people walked together across the bridge back to their homeland. But there was one there who was a mischievous and a troublemaker, Belgian. He was the brother-in-law to the two koalas. He ran in front of everyone else to get across the bridge. He ran in front of the children. He ran in front of the woman. He ran ahead, and he was scaring the people, making them afraid. He had an axe, and he was threatening to chop the bridge down. He didn't chop it down, but he was scaring the people, saying that he was going to. Way up, the Belgian called in Yandaarra the shark and Garuja the whale to scare the people. Garuja said to the people, "I didn't come to scare you. I came to explore this new country. Because the water has come up now, I have come in from way out there. I have come right up in here to check out this new country.
Guruja performed a song to the people, and the song came from her heart, which was full of love and respect for all living things. As she sang the song for the people, the song came and it went into the ears of the people. It went down into their hearts, and they could feel that message of love and respect for all living things. So the people then said to the whale, Nyagajan Guruja, behold you Guruja, Burabari Guruja, come whale, come Guruja.
In the book, this story of the Dunggiirr brothers is told as a ceremony. Ceremony is that act of going into the old time place, of being in the creation time. What's happening in the story of the Dunggiirr brothers is that there was a wrongdoing against the sacredness of life, and something had to be done to set it right again. Aunty Shaa says that this is what it's calling us now, to do that ceremony of setting things right again. She said, that is the intention of the story and of the book. It is a continuation of Aboriginal culture, our culture, that maintains the sacredness of all life. It's acknowledging that children have a significant place in this and that children need adults to stand with them. We feel it's an important book for this time with the big changes that are happening in the world. Sometimes there's a fear to speak out about that with children. No one knows how to talk about it. No one can see beyond what we are in right now. To talk about other than what we are in is hard, but kids have that potential, that ability to imagine a different way of being, to imagine it in. They have abilities.
That is the song I am going to sing as you are walking through, says Aunty Shaa. So it's like you're the whale, says Ashford. Holy dooly, yes, laughs Aunty Shaa. Zeke laughs along with her. Thank you, Galang ni Darundang, she says.
Yagajan Guruja. That means, behold you, Guruja. Burabari Guruja. Come whale, come Guruja.
Ceremony is a time where we are practicing being balanced, in harmony with all living things. We are celebrating life. We want the children to understand ceremony is important and it can be practiced. Children can do it. As Aunty Shaa explains, ceremony is a place of harmony where you put aside all your arguments, all your conflicts, all your disagreements, fears and worries. In ceremony, you can come into a place of harmony where you can then practice love for each other and all living things. A place where we can practice sharing. A place where you look after each other and respect each other. We are celebrating life because life is important. Ceremony is about balancing life, making life happen. We are in life. We are creative in this new place of ceremony. It is a place where the kids can celebrate different things, like the tree. It is alive. We have to look after that tree because that tree looks after us. Kids have a fundamental role in everything, and kids need to be prepared and supported in their own creativity. Aunty Shaa wants to help them nourish their connections with country. For Aunty Shaa, a book like this is needed. It can help give children an education beyond what they might get through a mainstream approach. An education that supports their creativity and helps them to nurture good relationships with each other and with country. And children inspire Aunty Shaa too. She says they have a lot to teach us.
Jinguru Jaburabadinguru Jaburabadinguru Ja Nyagajinguru Ja Nyagajinguru Jaburabadinguru Jaburabadinguru Ja Nyagajinguru Nyagajinguru Jaburabadinguru Jaburabadinguru Ja Nyagajinguru Ja Nyagajinguru Jaburabadinguru Jaburabadinguru Ja.
Here is the bridge and all the people. That is the fireplace, and there are people dancing. Here are special totems of all the people. Dunggiirr, the red-bellied black snake. Yandara, the turtles. These ones, these are mine, my family's. They are the freshwater bass, says Aunty Shaa. You have got women with their babies. There is Bamai, a possum. Oh, this one here, this is the Nian, the tree creeper bird. That's the women's symbol for the women. Nian is named for that one. Nian smiles. Then around here you have the giri maring, the little tiny bat, the microbat. That is the men's symbol, Aunty Shaa continues.
We share some Gumbaynggirr words in our book. I'm going to read them for you. First are our countries. Gumbaynggirr and Yandara countries on the mid-north coast of New South Wales. Balajin, eastern quoll. Bulungal, mullet. Dunggiirr, koala. Dunggiirr, red-bellied black snake. Gargle, sea, ocean. Kinagay, hello, how are you? Girimaring, microbat. Gunganbur, belonging.
As authors, we hope this book opens up an exciting opportunity for Indigenous parents, for all parents, to provide a space where we can think about what we actually want for our kids. In addition to the glossary, we have also worked with Alan and Unwin to create teacher's notes, which can be found on the Dunggiirr Brothers and the Caring Song of the Whale book page on the Alan and Unwin website, and also on the Gumbaynggirr Jagun website. In creating this book, Aunty Shaa says, I want to make sure Aboriginal children are supported in their culture. That is so important to me, to make sure children aren't smothered by a mainstream approach. I want them to be acknowledged as custodians who have the responsibility of caring for their country. This is so significant. They are our future elders. It is also about supporting Aboriginal families. The stories we share are important for Aboriginal children to ground them in their strength and identity, to maintain their connection with country, and so they can awaken to their expression of who they are. Uncle Bud Marshall also says it's important that children learn culture, and for those who do, he says,
They're following in the footsteps of the old boys, Uncle Benj and Auntie Brian and all that,
Uncle Bud also believes that the message of respect in the Caring Song of the Whale is the most important thing.
Respect is the main thing. But I'll tell you what, that is the best thing of the lot, is respect shown for the land and the people together. It's so strong, because that's what all the old fellas used to do. They used to show respect to one another. And I'd like to see that come back, I reckon it'd be different place to live in, everyone respect one another, just not just fighting against one another, just don't get them nowhere.
We put our hands on Aunty Shaa's handprint, and we can feel the connection and power. We hold hands around Dunggiirr, we close the circle.
Naya Jangaruja, Naya Jangaruja, Parabadikaruja, Parabadikaruja. Nyaga Janjaruja, Nyaga Janjaruja, Parabadikaruja, Parabadikaruja. Banjaram bang! Hooray! Here we all are, Gungambu, family and belonging.
Aunty Shaa hopes this children's book can act as a window that kids look through and see the wider, deeper world, the world where we are all connected and in relationship with country and each other. As Aunty Shaa shares, I am just trying to create a window to help us go beyond our limitations, to see our relationships, to live them and nourish them. I want to support kids building relationships with country, with the trees or birds, with whales or bats. It's just a matter of practice. Kids are smart and creative. They need our support to be able to think about things, about life, and be creative with their thoughts. For us as Yandaarra, this is about helping them thrive beyond any kind of square framework or square mindset. And if we are going to have a chance here, kids need to be able to think outside a limiting square, to think and be with country, to become greater beings than any of us are now. For all of us, Gumbaynggirr stories help give a different reference point, and one that isn't about me, me, me. Aunty Shaa and I would like to remind you that we need to go back to country, to put our relationships with country at the centre of everything. In this time, Gumbaynggirr is becoming a part of a global community, helping us all take responsibility for our part in the state of the world. We want to bring ourselves into this relationship with the earth, each other, and ourselves. We are taking up our responsibility in the global community. Sharing stories is such an important part of that. It is about finding our way together now and living the new dreaming. These stories are not stories of the past or of a fantasy time. They are real and they show us the way to be now and to be in good relationship with each other and with the earth.
I'd want them to just learn about culture and stuff like that. It's so strong. It used to be years ago, yeah, and I don't want it to go away, just our culture is the strongest thing in the world, mate, and when you had the tides and that run and all that, and moon, the sun and all that, and I don't want it to go away from young kids and all that. I want them just to learn, just learn everything. So we've got a book there, Sharon made a book there, and just about the koala Dunggiirr. and that's it there. It's Dunggiirr Brothers and Caring Song of the Whale. And it's got everything in it, just I like to give these out to schools and that, just these are all the stories and that of it, just all the people that made it. I'm got a bunch of them there with a cobra, mate.
I do hope you enjoy our book.
We wrote this presentation and our book together as Yandaarra. Yandaarra is Gungambu. We belong to each other, with each other and with country. Yandaarra means shifting camp together in Gumbaynggirr. Our intention is to live the story and the law that's in the story. We want to invite a lot of people to do the same thing, to look after the earth and each other.